Here we are, born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe.
Hello interneters, I'm the Unpaid Intern. Episode 2. Just a quick recap from episode 1. I had decided to get world records and become the self-proclaimed, self-ordained monarch of the Cubing community. I've made a series to document me on this journey. Last episode, I had decided the first milestone would be reaching sub 10 on the 3x3. More specifically, to get better at the cross. Here are the times I had, this was the goal, let's see where I placed. So, I've learned that the cross is a rather intuitive process that requires the Cubing version of Eagle Vision, which I haven't mastered completely yet. Instead of disappearing again until I become a cross aficionado, I'll move on to F2L. Originally, I learned F2L rather intuitively, which sounds nice in theory, but practically, not so much. For example, I used to solve this case like this. But there's a far much simpler option, so I'll have to actively learn better F2L solutions. But wait, it's been a year and a half. I'm not just going to say learn better F2Ls and call it a day. So I've decided to granulate myself even further. Whilst that happens, I'll bring you up to pace with what I've been up to in between videos. First, I had learned full OLL. And then after that, I had learned full L4E in just one day, which is a set of algorithms for the Pyraminx where you solve only 2 edges on one face and you solve the rest of the cube with one algorithm. I had then promptly forgotten this algorithm set over the course of 2 days. I'm thinking of making a formula based on these events, where the memory is directly proportional to the product of the number of times the subject was revised and the course of time for which the subject was initially learned, and inversely proportional to the square of the time from the last time the subject was revised. Now to submit this to the SI unit people and hope that they accepted. And sadly, during the filming of this video, my beloved Lucille III passed away. The top broke off and she was rushed immediately to the hospital. The doctor's report reads, the patient had suffered diastematomyelin, which severed the connection from her core to her U-face. This eventually led to a fatal permanent fracture. Status, DOA. I blame planned obsolescence. I must avenge her. You know, China is far away, and Lucille would want me to be the bigger person here. So right now, I'm using Lucille II. Anywho, my granularization is complete, and I have now broken down a cube solve into 20 parts. The time taken to lift the cube, solve the cross, recognize the first F2L pair the first F2L pair, and then insert the first pair. This process was repeated for the rest of F2L. Then the time taken to recognize OLL, execute OLL, recognize PLL, execute PLL, then do AUF, and then finally drop the cube. The recognition time is highlighted in yellow, and I have a total of 3.87 seconds of recognition time. If I were to reduce my pauses by half and bring my F2L down to 7.5 seconds, then I can solve at 13.07 seconds. So, how do I reduce my pauses? Well, this is called look ahead. Look ahead is a rather mystical part of cubing, where you can suddenly drop your cubing times. Many cubists say that one should solve at a much more natural pace than moving at a fast pace to practice look ahead. I decided to test the truth in this statement by using the maximum and the minimum. I'll solve 3 solves turning as fast as possible, and another 5 with slow natural turns. The average between both solves are pretty similar, but I had noticed that when I was turning faster, I locked up more, and when I was turning slower, my look ahead had gotten a bit better, but clearly it wasn't perfect. So I've decided to do a bit of both, natural slow turning for the cross and F2L, and fast turning for OLL and PLL. What think you, Interneters? Kind regards, Ignatius, Ignacio, and Turningston.